Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. Today on Stamping with Loretta, we're going to do this adorable card with a Squigglefly.com image. This is called Lil Bird, and this is just really cute and simple card to make, and we're going to start by coloring the image. I went ahead and printed off my image onto regular hammer mill cardstock, and it is 110 pound weight 98 brightness paper. It's really smooth and it works really well with Copics. As soon as it comes off the printer, I do heat set it just to be sure that the image is in fact dry before I work with it. So we're going to start with YR82, which is Mellow Peach, and we're going to do his feet with this color. I start by applying the color in big areas first to saturate the paper so that any color I lay on top of it will blend a little bit more smoothly. You don't need to be real picky about this part, you just need to get the color down. And if you go outside the lines a little bit, it doesn't matter because we're going to fussy cut this in the end. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and with the same color I'm just going to add a few highlights. Now I'm going to use another color of yellow, I should say yellow-red, YR12. And this color is just a little bit on the mustard side, but it should blend in nicely. Again, just making some highlights here and there, not being real particular with the image. Alright, now for the bird himself. I'm going to start with my very lightest color, which is Y0000. And I'm going to do its entire face, except for his eyes, and I'm going to do part of his beak, but you'll see in just a second. It's really kind of hard to see this color on film because it is a little bit on the light side. And this is just more or less for filler so that when the other colors go down on top, they'll blend. And this just makes a really nice base color for the image. And as you can see by my example, his beak has been cut out in 3D so that the layer underneath doesn't show very much. I'm also going to cover his beak with the same color. Okay. Now, when I did this image last night, we lost power. So it's not going to look exactly the same as the two that I did earlier for examples for that purpose. You're not going to ever color an image exactly the same way twice. It's just impossible to do, even as a perfectionist. I like my things to be fairly consistent, and I like them to be neat and orderly. But sometimes it doesn't happen. You have to let it go. Okay. That was Y02. Now I'm going to go in with Y04, and I'm going to pick up some highlights now. We're going to... Our source of light is coming from this way, and if I lay my hand over, you can see it goes from dark to light, and that's how we're going to determine our highlight and our low lights for that matter. So that's going to go on first. Then Y06 is next, and I just drew a line as you can see, and then Y08. Now this is a very acid yellow. It's very stark and you can see that it's left a line. I'm going to go back right over that same line and using small little circles and right at his legs as well, and on one side of his beak, just like that. Now I'm going to go back with Y02 and blend it all together. On the sketch markers, as well as the originals and the chowls, they all have a dark line on one end. This dark line represents the smaller of the two nibs. So if it's a brush nib, it's on this side, and if it's a bullet nib, the small one is on this side. That's an easy way to remember because I didn't pay attention. I actually took the wrong end off of my marker. So I'm going back over the top, and I'm feathering that color back into itself. And as you can see, as I'm working, that line is literally disappearing before your eyes, between your eyes. Sorry guys. And it's just blending in really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and on this other side of his beak and blend that in as well. Okay, I'm pretty pleased with the way that looks. It looks nice. Now, using that same orange I used earlier, the YR82, I'm going to give him some highlight by putting some cheeks on him. I'm just going to draw a little circle on each side and fill it in. On my example, I used a blue ink for his eyes. I'm going to use a green ink, G03, this time, because Chad's filming me today, and this is his favorite color. So we'll go in with some green eyes for this guy. So there's that colored down. Okay, now I'm going to do his eyelids. And I'm going to start with my darkest color first this time. Leaving just a little white space in the middle. And then I'm going to go to the other extreme and use my lightest yellow, Y02, and color in. And I'm just going to keep coloring until the two start to blend together and that stark line disappears. You have to be careful to stay in your lines when you're doing this part, because if you don't, you're going to oversaturate the paper and it's going to bleed into the other areas of the image, and you don't want that. You just want it to feather in nicely to the middle. Now, this little part of his beak may show, so I'm going to color that in just a little bit, just like that. Alright, so that's pretty much the image colored. We would color his mouth and pop dot it on and fussy cut, as well as add little Google eyes. So that's that. So let's put the card together now. I've cut all my pieces. This is from the Paper Pantry card pack called Princess Pack. This idea for this card actually is a sketch. It is from mojomonday.blogspot.com, and it is the one for yesterday. I will put the information down on my blog with the website so that you can go see that sketch for yourselves and use it. I need to upload this one to their site. I just think it's really cute. So, and with all the cold weather and snow we have, I really needed a card that made me think of spring and nice warm weather. This pink layer measures 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Okay. This green layer right here is 5 1/4 inches by 2 inches, and it's going to go kind of close to the bottom, but not quite. And then this pretty layer of green flower paper measures 5 inches by 1 1/2 inches, and it gets layered next. Kind of center that on there, eyeball it. There it goes. Very nice. Okay. So now we're going to do this white circle is 3 1/2 inches round, and it's going to go up towards the corner. And this green piece that's got the pop dots on it is a 3 1/2 inch, excuse me, 3 1/4 inch circle. And I'm going to kind of try to match the lines up somewhat so that when you look at the image, you don't go crazy trying to distinguish between the two colors, and that way it keeps everything kind of straight. Okay. Now it's time for Lil Bird to go on to his card. He's got pop dots on him as well. These are actually a dark pop dot with red liner tape backing, so it's very strong. It does take quite a bit to get this off, which is a good thing. It's not going to fall apart in the mail on you. Okay, so there he is. I'm just going to eyeball him and lay him down, straighten him out, and then, oh, I forgot something. This piece of ribbon, I just kind of laid it on top and cut it to size, and it goes right there, and then this goes next. Let's put some more tape on the back, just to be sure things do not shift on us. And somewhere, our sentiment will go here, I miss you. This little piece right here, we're going to put on last, but inside, it reads, give me a peep. In other words, give me a call. So, we're going to attach the stick pin that I've gotten through the ribbon onto the card by putting a big dollop of adhesive on. If yours clogs up, just like this one is, just take something pointy and poke it in and kind of clean out that tip. Now we're going to add some crystal lacquer to the back of this and put it in the corner, just like that. And of course we want this to dry properly, so we're going to take an ordinary clothespin and hold it into place. This one took about 25 minutes to dry, and I'm sure this one's going to take about the same. So here's our finished project, and it says, I miss you on the front. Inside it says, give me a peep. This is a Sizzix die that I cut out of that same pink paper from the Princess pack from my paper pantry, and that's a finished card. I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope you'll try it. Thanks for joining me today with Stamping with Loretta in this video tutorial. I hope you'll go visit Squigglefly.com. She's got some great images and wonderful ideas. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.